what really happens behind the scenes of this old house. After 4 decades of flawless renovations and picture-perfect episodes, Tom Silva is finally breaking his silence and naming the 5 worst employees he's ever worked with. From near-fate mistakes to clashes that nearly tore the team apart. These aren't just stories, they're warning signs. Who were they? What did they do? And how close did it come to destroying the legacy of America's most trusted renovation show? Stick around, because what Tom Silva reveals will change the way you watch this old house forever. Tom Silva, co-owner of Silva Brothers Construction, joined this old house in 1986 and quickly became the soul of the show. He was known for his strict standards, attention to detail, and passion for doing things right. Every home, whether a colonial relic or a modern masterpiece, received the same uncompromising dedication. But behind that steady smile and confident swing of the hammer was a man who had seen things go wrong and who never forgot the lessons those moments taught. One of the most dramatic of these came in season 38, episode 5, during the renovation of a historical colonial home in Boston. The home was rich in character, but its electrical system was a hazard waiting to happen. Jake D., a newly hired electrician, was assigned to upgrade the outdated wiring. Though experienced, Jake was overconfident. He skipped key steps in the safety protocol, ignoring Tom Silva's directive to check every wire. He thought replacing the main wires would be enough. He was wrong. During filming, a socket emitted sparks. Smoke poured from the wall, and flames licked the vintage wooden paneling. The crew acted fast, extinguishing the fire before it could spread, but part of the ceiling was already gone. The cause, an exposed wire Jake had missed during inspection. Tom confronted him. "You skipped the inspection." That didn't just damage the house, it endangered lives. The consequences were immediate. Jake was removed from the project. The team worked overtime to restore what was lost. For Tom Silva, it was a stark reminder that carelessness and confidence don't mix. The next story took place in season 39, episode 8. During the construction of a modern shed in the Massachusetts suburbs, Ronnie M., a technical assistant, was hired to help manage materials and ensure accurate measurements. The job required focus and collaboration. But from the beginning, Ronnie's attitude soured the site. He questioned instructions, resisted teamwork, and showed open disdain when asked to double-check his work. During a critical moment, Tom noticed a misaligned floorboard that could compromise the shed's foundation. He asked Ronnie to remeasure it. Instead, Ronnie snapped, "I already did it right. Why are you always nitpicking?" The crew fell silent. TomSilva.com, as ever, responded, "One small mistake can ruin the whole foundation. This isn't about your pride, it's about the project." When Ronnie refused to back down, Tom made the call. He replaced him on the spot and later told the team, "We need people who love this work. One person out of sync can break a team's spirit." Then came Linda V., featured in season 41, episode 3. An acclaimed interior designer brought in to transform an old townhouse in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Her ideas were stunning. Her sketches promised elegance, but her execution, chaos. Without warning, she changed the color scheme hours before painting. She altered the placement of completed walls. She delayed installations with last-minute redesigns. Every spontaneous choice she made meant hours of extra work for the crew and mounting stress. Tom Silva tried to reason with her. "Your creativity is appreciated," he said, "but we need a unified plan. You can't keep making decisions in isolation." Linda V insisted her changes were part of the process, but when she demanded a redesign of the main entrance door, just hours before its installation, Tom had enough. He brought in a new designer who understood the value of coordination. "A great idea only matters if we can bring it to life together," Tom told the team. The project recovered, but not without cost, both in time and morale. In season 40, episode 12, the team tackled a particularly demanding challenge, reinforcing the roof of a historic home to support a new attic space. Enter Frank H., a structural engineer with years of experience. He presented detailed drawings and assured the team that the roof could handle the load. But Tom Silva warned him to account for strong local winds, a crucial environmental factor. Frank, juggling other projects, overlooked the warning. It was a mistake that nearly proved catastrophic. On a gusty day, the beams collapsed a section of the roof gave way, sending debris tumbling and leaving the wall below cracked. Thankfully, no one was hurt. But the damage was extensive. Reviewing the plans, Tom discovered the load calculations had failed to consider wind pressure. A mistake like this doesn't just cost money, he told Frank. It can cost lives. Frank H. admitted he'd been distracted by his workload. That wasn't good enough. He was replaced, and Tom led the reconstruction himself. From that day forward, stricter cross-checks were implemented for every structural plan on the show. And then there was Chris T., featured in Season 42, Episode 6, a seasoned excavator operator hired to reshape a messy backyard into a garden and parking space in Newton, Massachusetts. Operating heavy machinery requires laser focus. But when Chris showed up, visibly exhausted, with bloodshot eyes and sluggish movement, Tom Silva noticed immediately. Hours later, Chris lost control of a machine while lifting a massive rock. It tumbled, landing just feet away from the crew. The reaction was swift. Tom Silva walked straight over and shut the job down. "Chris, you're not clear-headed enough to work. You almost caused a serious accident." "I can't let that happen," he said. Chris blamed lack of sleep. Tom wasn't convinced. He dismissed him immediately and instituted tighter health screenings before shifts. "Machines are powerful," Tom later told the team, "but only safe when the operator is fully alert." The near disaster became a cautionary tale embedded into the culture of the show. Each of these 5 moments, whether it was the near destruction of a historic home due to an electrical fire, the tension and conflict caused by an uncooperative team member, the delays from unplanned design changes, the miscalculations that led to structural collapse, or the recklessness of an exhausted equipment operator, left a lasting impression on Tom Silva. But they didn't shake him. They taught him, not just about construction techniques or workflow efficiency, but about what truly matters in a build: leadership, accountability, and integrity. Tom Silva learned early on that being a great contractor is about far more than mastering tools or techniques. It's not just about perfectly cut joints or accurate measurements, it's about building trust, leading with integrity, and knowing when to step in. Over the years, he discovered that the strongest crews aren't formed by skill alone, but by shared values. It's about setting a tone on the job site, recognizing which mistakes are part of the learning curve and which ones put the entire project or someone's safety at risk. Leadership, Tom realized, doesn't reveal itself when things go right. It emerges when everything is falling apart. That philosophy helped shape not just his work, but the very identity of this old house. Since its first broadcast in 1979, this old house has reshaped how the world views home renovation. What began as a modest concept follow a real renovation with real experts quickly grew into a television empire. With 17 Emmy Awards under its belt and countless hours of programming, the show became a trusted guide for millions of viewers. It didn't rely on drama or artificial deadlines. It didn't race toward flashy aftershots. Instead, it emphasized education, craftsmanship, and respect for the trade. At the center of that legacy stands Tom Silva. For over 40 years, he's been the face of reliability, patience, and passion. Whether demonstrating proper flashing installation or patiently teaching an apprentice how to drive a nail the right way, Tom's approach is always empowering, clear, and humble. Norm Abram, the show's iconic master carpenter, once said, "Tom makes the complex simple." And Kevin O'Connor, host since 2003, agreed. Tom Silva doesn't just teach skills, he teaches how to love the craft. Still, what makes Tom Silva truly remarkable is his humility and his drive to give back. He's not just a builder, he's a mentor, a volunteer, a coach. He supports local Little League teams. His greatest contribution, however, is what he represents: integrity, responsibility, and a belief that true excellence is born not from perfection, but from how we respond to failure. The mistakes he encountered on set were never about blame. They were about growth. For every poor decision, every misstep, Tom Silva built something stronger in its place: better protocols, clearer communication, and a stronger team culture. Because this old house has never just been about building homes. It's about building trust, building discipline, and building pride in doing things the right way. And Tom Silva, He spent a lifetime proving that when you build with character, the results stand the test of time. So, as we reflect on the missteps of Jake D., Ronnie M., Linda V., Frank H., and Chris T., one truth stands tall. It's not just about the finished product, it's about the integrity behind every nail and beam. Tom Silva has always built it right. If you value true craftsmanship, like, share, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.